and what an effort. First pitch coming your way next. And getting the start for Miami, Chris Paddock. Not the best results a year ago, looking for better this season, Chris.
Yeah, and I think this guy understands that if he doesn't make quicker adjustments and show improvement, that the patience that his manager has will not last as long as it did last year. So we'll see if he can get off to a great start. Perhaps the work that he did in the offseason will show good results early on, but he's got to get out of the gates going strong, or else he may find himself in the bullpen or back in the minor leagues.
Ball.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
On the ground, right side. Conine takes it himself, and the first out of the game is an easy one. Time to check out the lineup for the White Sox. So up next, Kyle Teal. Hitless last night, and they only scored 1 run.
Come on, Sheriff. Yeah.
That one ripped right center field. A dive, and he can't haul it in. Round second, digging for third. And he's got himself a triple.
Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
Colson Montgomery steps to the plate for the White Sox. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. One away with a runner at third here in the second game of the series. Strike 2. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Been a pretty rough start to this series for him at the plate. 3 strikeouts in the first game yesterday. Another one right there. They've clearly got a great plan for how to deal with this guy right now.
So up next for Chicago, Munetaka Murakami, trying to pick up his first knock in the big leagues.
Ball 1.
Teal at third with 2 away. Ripped to third, but handled, and that'll end the inning. Now the Marlins will see what they can do. No score. This is White Sox baseball on the show, Chicago. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And on the mound in this one, Eric Fetty. What do you got on him, Chris?
He really relies on working down in the zone with that heavy sinker he's got. You know, it's not as popular to throw that pitch today as it used to be because, you know, guys are looking to hit balls down in the zone, get them up in the air. It's very important for him when facing same-side hitters to be able to get it in, especially early in the count, and to opposite guys be able to throw it at that front hip and run it over the inside corner.
Edwards
that's
jumps
inside.
out of the way of ball 1. The 1-1 is fouled off.
You know, this is a good time to step out of the box, take a deep breath, reset. A couple of changeups. Probably won't see another one here.
Off the outside edge, and now the count is 2-2. Stays alive.
Here we go, Xavier.
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
Let's go, Xavier.
The 2-2. That's a ball. Went with the sweeper. Short hop liner, handled it short. He's in there, and it's going to wind up out of play.
Probably just tried to force a play that wasn't there. Ends up a single and a throwing error. So now they have to deal with the runner in scoring position. You know, good communication on the field can make a big difference on a play like that.
Stepping in, Kyle Stowers.
That's a ball.
Man at second. And that's through there for a strike. And now it's even 1-1. Next offering is fouled back. The 1-2.
These first two hitters really making him work out there. Already 14 pitches this inning.
No outs. Runner on second. In the air, left field. Benintendi under it, brings it in, and there's one down. Take a look at the lineup, and the challenge for this lineup today, Singy, finding a way to have success against the sinker ball.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to hit, Boog, and even harder to elevate. Got to set your sights a little bit higher when you're at the dish. They're struggling with it. I'd expect them to make some type of adjustment. It won't take long to see how well that sinker is working today.
Jacob Marcy, the next up for the Marlins. Check on the runner, and he's back in safely. Line drive, base hit. Edwards rounds third, headed for the plate. He scores, and they have the lead. It's an RBI single, 1-0.
Always feels good when you come through and get your team on the board first. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Heriberto Hernandez, batting with one down, takes a strike. Oh, 1 now. Fouled off left side. The 0-2. And he chases that one. That's out number 2.
Batting fifth, third baseman, number 1, Connor.
Now the third baseman, Connor Norton.
Ball one.
And the 1-0. Runner on the go.
That's ball
There's
two.
a ball. Throw to second.
He's out.
Out at second. That ends the inning. But the RBI single pushes across a run. It's now 1-0. You're watching White. Back here in Miami, top of the second, Austin Hayes steps to the plate for the White Sox. Hayes getting the start in right. He made his big league debut when he was 22 years old, and he was a third-round pick back in 2016. Foul ball there.
It's so hard to slow yourself down when you see that juicy breaking ball, but the most success happens when you try to take that right back up the middle approach.
Too high. Ball.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, classic pitch sequencing there to change eye levels for the punch out. That fastball on the pitch before was up. It was very competitive, and that gets you thinking that he might try to climb the ladder. But then the curveball out of that same tunnel just falls off the table, and you can't make contact.
Digging in is the switch hitting outfielder, Brooks Baldwin. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Gets a piece and stays alive.
Ball.
Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
That's the third baseman, Lenny.
And here is Sosa to the plate. Popped up, foul territory behind the plate. And that is that. 1-2-3 go the White Sox. They're down 1-0. Bottom half of inning number 2. And now for the Marlins, Connor Norby. Just
that's a ball.
missed. Activity in the bullpen. Jonathan Cannon, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. Number 63 getting cranked up as well. That one's in there. That is strike 2. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Fights it off, he'll see another. And a foul ball, he stays alive. Got him. One down.
Batting 6, the catcher, number 34, Liam.
Now, Liam Hicks.
Hey!
The 0-1. Swings through that one out in front that time.
Sold it really well with the arm speed. Swung underneath it, so a changeup that stayed a little bit more on plane than what he was anticipating.
And base hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Batting 7, the shortstop.
Just a solid swing right there. Caught it out front and ripped it into the outfield for the base hit. Those always feel great.
Now it's the shortstop, Otto Lopez. Good power, not great AOBP department. Man at first, one away. That's a hit. Throws to second. They take the force out, and he's out.
Well, this is one of those plays that happens sometimes, but it never really should. It seems like he just got a bad read on the ball, and the good throw from the outfield was perfect to get the out.
Christopher Morel, the next up for the Marlins. And a strike on the outside edge.
Nope. That's inside.
Foul ball. Lopez leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Back to the mound. He's got it. There with plenty of time, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Miami. They lead it 1-0. Back here at Lone Depot Park. New inning getting started. Miguel Vargas steps to the plate for the White Sox. Way inside.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Vargas went deep in his most recent game. One now.
Ball, that's low.
In there for a strike at the bottom of the zone. Just missed.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Payoff pitch. That one misses.
No, that's a ball.
So a leadoff walk.
Man, that's a tough one to take on the full count, but I guess he saw it really well. It's a really nice plate appearance.
Benintendi up here. And a base hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
No, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there. Nice line drive to pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
Now it's the second baseman, Chase Mydron. 0 for 1 so far. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. First and second, no outs. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that's 4 strikeouts. And here's a look at how he's using his pitches in this one. Now here is Kyle Teal. 1 for 1. He tripled in his first trip.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
2 on, 1 out. Late swing, foul to the left. The 1-1. Slice the other way and foul. Here's a 1-2. Out towards right center field. Marcy gets there. He's under it. Brings it in.
Up next for the White Sox, the shortstop, Colson Montgomery.
2 outs, runners at first and second. So up now for Chicago, Colson Montgomery. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a ball lined out towards center, and that's the 3rd out. White Sox stranded a couple. They still trail 1-0. Bottom half of the 3rd, and they bring in a new pitcher, Jonathan Cannon. He's making his 2nd appearance of the season. Griffin Kona now at the plate.
The first baseman, Griffin.
这个 play good.
On a line out towards center. And there's 1 down.
The batter, number 9, second baseman, Xavier.
Back to the top of the Miami order. Xavier Edwards digs in now. Reached on an infield single his first time.
Hey.
Now the 0-1. And that one clips the corner.
0-2 count, both pitches on the inside part of the plate. Hitter is thinking, I don't want to get beat here. This is a good time for something off speed away.
Almost got him.
Ball 2.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes. That's out number 2.
The left fielder,
Kyle Stowers, the next up for the Marlins. Fly to left his first time. Line drive, and this might be trouble. And that's going to roll to the wall. Safely into second. He's got a double.
Everything was mechanically sound with that swing right there. I mean, that's pretty much what you're wanting to replicate with every rep you take. You want good balance, barrel directly to the baseball, and good long extension after contact out in front of home plate. Man, there are a lot of doubles in a swing like that.
Digging in, Jacob Marcy.
RBI knock for him last time. Now a chance to drive in another run.
And that one goes straight to the backstop. Stowers up to third on the wild pitch.
Have to be really sure you can make it safely to third when you're in scoring position and 2 outs. Got to get that run across. Very important. Does a nice job of reading it. Gets to third base. Now just 90 feet away.
Nope. Outside.
This one kicks away a little as he can't squeeze it. Runner stays put at third. 2 outs and a runner at third here in the last half of the 3rd. That one's in there. That's strike 1. Right side. Inning over. Marlins lead 1, but they still lead it 1-0. Back here in Miami, here's the White Sox DH, Munetaka Murakami.
And there's one thing on his mind this at bat, get that first hit at the big league level.
Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Marcy grabs it on the run. One pitch and one out.
They trust him in center field because he's capable of making plays on the run, and we saw it right there. That's a player you want patrolling center field. Someone who can attack the ball off the bat.
Hayes, batting with one down, takes a strike.
Ball one.
White Sox down a run. Top half of inning number 4. In the air, right field. Hernandez under this one. And a couple of quick outs.
Up next for Chicago, the center fielder.
So up next for Chicago, Brooks Baldwin. His first at bat was a strikeout.
No, that's low. Ball, that's out.
Two down, nobody on. That's off
Nope,
the inside
that's
corner.
inside.
And that's ball 3.
Oh, they have had a hard time scoring in this one. The pitcher out there on the mound wants to keep attacking, make sure that they don't get any confidence.
Ripped, but it curls foul. And a payoff pitch. And he walked
Ball
him.
4.
Well, 2-out walks are never good, especially when you're trying to get back into that dugout. But he's still in a good spot. He's just got to refocus and deal with the bottom of this order.
Lenny Sosa steps to the plate for the White Sox.
Man, I mean, nice job just presenting it to be better than it actually was.
Runner takes off. Pitch is low. Safe at second, and that was not close.
Well, we all know this team is struggling right now, and sometimes you just got to do something different to generate some offense. A little more aggressive right there to put the pressure on the opponent. We'll see if it pays off on the scoreboard for this team.
Man on second, 2 down. And that one clips the corner. Sosa not happy about that called strike. Here's the challenge. And it's going to stay a strike. So they'll lose their first challenge. In the dirt, blocked. Man at second. And it remains 2-2. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. To the bottom of inning number 4 now. It's the Marlins 1 and the White Sox nothing. Bottom of the inning, and now for the Marlins, Heriberto Hernandez.
Heriberto Hernandez.
Fastball for a strike. And a foul ball. The 0-2. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, take a look at the three-pitch sequence here. Pretty simple in terms of putting them away at the plate. Once you're ahead 0-2 as a pitcher, you can really expand the zone and see how aggressive that hitter is going to be trying to protect and battle. And right there, clearly he was in swing mode, but all you can do is hope to foul that off.
Here's the third baseman, Connor Norby.
Ball, that's down.
The 1-0.
Aye. Nope, upstairs.
Right through there for a strike. Foul ball left side. He'll see another. He goes down looking.
I'm not saying it wasn't a strike or, you know, it was a ball, whatever, but just the location with that velocity. It's hard enough to, even if the velocity's not great, but that velocity, that location, tip your cap.
Two down, base is empty. Now it's the Marlins catcher, Liam Hicks. High fly ball, right field. Hayes under it. And that will end the inning. Nothing doing for the Marlins, but they're on top 1-0. Back here at Lone Depot Park. Ready now for the fifth inning. Miguel Vargas steps to the plate for the White Sox. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Vargas in his third season, 26 years old, and he was born in Cuba.
0-1. Ball inside.
That's
Ball
a little bit low.
Now in this 3-ball count, down in the ball game, you've got to be very selective. Take your walk if they'll give it to you.
Right through there for a strike.
And boy, that was the pitch. 3-1. You want to be really aggressive on the fastball.
Battling here as he fouls it away. And ball 4 there. Tying run is on base.
That could jumpstart an offense that's really struggled to score in this one. Don't want to wake a team up with a free pass.
Andrew Benintendi steps up. Single to right in his first trip. Yeah, that's fouled off. White Sox down a run. And we're at the top of the 5th. Close, but called a ball. Ball 1. Looked like a strike to me. And here comes the challenge. It just shaved the zone. Still 2 challenges left for them. And the 0-2. Swung on, belted. And that one is foul, so we'll try it again. Ground ball left side, and that's just foul. This one in the air right field. He's got it.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
Second base. Chase.
One out man at first. And here is Chase Mydroff.
3-pitch strikeout last time up. Got to put up more of a fight in this one.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Now a quick throw to first. And he's back in on a dive. There's a strike. In the dirt, but kept close. Throws to second. Not going to get him. He's in there. And now a man into scoring position.
Well, that right there erases the chance at the inning-ending double play. So good job on the bases to move up on the wild pitch. Changes the outlook of the inning in a pretty big way.
Man at second. Into center. Base hit into the outfield. Runner around third. He scores to tie it up. It's an RBI single. It's 1-1.
Well, here we are, third time through the order, and this is where we see the OPS jump up. Manager might have to go to the bullpen a little bit sooner than he anticipated.
Kyle Teal, the next to hit, 1 for 2.
Nope, ball 1.
The 1-0. Now a rip into left center. And that's got extra bases written all over it. Coming home. The relay throw. Not in time. He's safe at the plate. They take the lead. It's 2-1.
Big swing of the bat right there to give him the lead. That was clutch. I love the approach he had right there with that pitch. Not trying to do too much, but still looking to drive it, and that's exactly what he's able to do into the opposite field gap for the double.
1 out, runner at second. Colson Montgomery getting ready to hit. This one in the air, center field. Marcy settles under it, takes it in for the out.
The batter, number 5, designated hitter,
Munetaka Murakami steps to the plate for the White Sox. And he grounds one back up the middle, dives, but it kicks off his glove. The throw comes in too late, and now they have runners at the corners. Munetaka Murakami with his first major league hit, and this is a moment I'm sure he'll never forget. Congrats.
Yeah, great moment for him and his family. A guy works so hard and has to wait so long for this to happen. And when it does, it can kind of be overwhelming, Boog. You still have to stay locked in on the game, but it's great when you can take a minute to just appreciate what you've done and how hard you've worked to get here.
So 2 outs with runners on the corners. And now it's Austin Hayes. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. In to score from third. It's an RBI single, and they lead by 2.
Well, it comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. There was nothing cheap about the way he got that one through the infield. That was ripped. Caught out in front and didn't get under it like he would have liked, but definitely put a good swing on it.
Here comes the manager out of the dugout, and he'll make a move for the bullpen. Chris Paddock won't go any further. Just never found his groove, wasn't able to settle in. New arm coming on, back in a moment.
Now pitching.
New pitcher on now, Lake Bacher.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
First and second, 2 outs. Brooks Baldwin will hit next.
Ball, that's out.
Two on, 2 outs. And
That's
another
out.
ball.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
Pulls that one foul. And a 2-1 on the way. That one fouled off. 2 aboard, 2 outs. Still 2-2 after the foul ball. Misses the zone for a ball. That was the sweeper. Lenin Sosa in the on-deck circle for the White Sox. Murakami at second. Hayes on at first with 2 down. Swing and a line drive. Base hit it to left field. 1 run is in. Another comes in to score, and they're up by 4.
When you go 0 for 5, 0 for 7, 0 for 8, it seems like an eternity, especially to start the season, because that's the one thing. Players want to get that first one out of the way so that they feel like, all right, I'm going to avoid this prolonged over to start the season and get into a slump.
Now the third baseman, Lenin Sosa. And it's fouled away. Man on second, 2 down. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. Miami's bullpen with some action. Max Meyer preparing to come on if needed. Fauché also throwing. 0-2 now.
His
Ball,
understanding of the strike
inside.
zone, very impressive. That was a very close 0-2 fastball. I just don't know how you take that.
Fights that one away, still 1-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Inning over, although plenty of damage done. But 9 batters hit in the inning, 5 come around to score. Home half of the 5th coming up. It's the White Sox 5 and the Marlins 1. This is White Sox baseball on the show. We head to the bottom of the 5th. And now for the Marlins, Otto Lopez. He's someone that you might not describe as having elite level speed, but he can absolutely move, and it is a factor in his game. Hit hard on the ground is short. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Up next for the Marlins, the designated hitter, number 5, Christopher.
Next to hit, Christopher Morel. 0 for 1, he grounded out in his first at bat.
He's got pop, which is a little sneaky because he's so comfortable with taking his base hits to the opposite field, but he can jump you if you make a mistake.
Inside, ball 1.
Just missed. The White Sox leading by 4, last half of inning number 5. And now
Ball,
2
that's
balls
too
and a
high.
strike. Popped in the air, left field. Benintendi gets under it, and there are 2 outs.
Up next for the Marlins.
Now at the plate, Griffin Conine. He's 0 for 1. the right side, and it goes just foul. Strike two.
This guy's pounding the zone. Hitters don't have time to think in between pitches.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He's notched 4 strikeouts now. Miami down in order. They're down here 5-1. Back at the ballpark, let's take a look at some of the moments that stand out to us. Miguel Vargas digs in now.
The first baseman, Miguel Vargas.
Ball one.
跳到那边，我的改变你看得见。
哎。
There's a line drive to left field. One away.
BMI 24.5下就是这个。我觉得我应该还有差几公里。
Andrew Benintendi up to the plate.
很多打草跟切草，那是因为没有每天看，过一段时间。
And he can't come up with it. But he wins the foot race to first. Good job of knowing how much time he had there.
Fastball groove right down the middle. Usually a lot of damage done with that pitch. A hard grounder, but he wanted to get that ball in the air, maybe drive it into the gap.
Back to the top of the White Sox lineup. Here's the second baseman, Chase Mydra. Hard liner. And that'll do it. Nothing doing for the White Sox. They're up 5-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Now it's the Marlins leadoff hitter, Xavier Edwards.
You know, these Marlins, digging into their numbers, have to be happy with the swings they're taking. A handful have turned into outs, but of the balls they put in play, 10 have been line drives. I say keep barreling the ball and good things will happen. Don't let that get you frustrated.
The wind to kick the 2-0.
Ball that's
Just
outside.
missed. Yeah, that's in for a strike. And now 3-1. In there at the knees for a strike. Edwards wants to challenge this. Thought it was a ball. Barely a hair out of the zone, but it was a ball. They'll keep both their challenges. And at first, Kyle Stowers now at the plate.
Now, these guys definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ballgame.
Ball, that's outside.
That's in for a strike. The White Sox leading by 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup. Oh, he doesn't get the call. Full count now. I thought that was a strike, and here's a challenge. It just shaved the zone. So they get to hang on to their second challenge. One down. And up next for Miami, Jacob Marcy. 1 for 2. He had an RBI base hit back in the first.
Outside, that's a ball.
Quick toss to first. Low throw, and it gets by.
He's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike, but so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone, and the last two pitches that he's thrown, good pitches, but even better takes.
Next offering in there for a strike. Strike one. Marcy thought that one missed, and here comes a challenge. So the call will stand. One challenge remaining for them now. So a walk puts runners at first and second.
Pretty easy walk right there. Last pitch wasn't even much to think about.
Number 13,
Heriberto Hernandez, the next up for the Marlins.
Struck out on just 3 pitches last time.
On the ground, 2 ball. Sosa to second, double play. They can't seem to break through. Inning over. So they're able to work around a pair of walks in the inning. We're through 6 full. It's the White Sox 5 and the Marlins 1.
Now pitching for the
Welcome back. We're in the 7th. We have a new pitcher on the mound, Calvin Fauché.
They know that he can get a right-hander out, but he's in position to face a couple of lefties this inning.
Now it's the White Sox catcher, Kyle Teal. That one finds the zone, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's really the money spot, down and away. If you can locate that consistently, it's going to be real tough for hitters to square that up. That's what you love to see relievers do coming out of that bullpen.
This one popped up. And that'll fall for a base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Oh, this has been a really nice game at the plate for him. He looks locked in. Kind of your classic jam shot blooper right there. Made a good pitch on the inside.
Runner on the move. Pitch misses in. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. Fly ball down the line. This has got a chance, and it is foul.
Oh, it's a really good pass of the ball right there. Just a little bit too quick. He's got to find a way, just let it travel a hair more.
Check swing called strike. That's strike 2. And they'll do it again. Way inside, gets out of the way. That misses, and the count's full. And that one hammered. Out of here. A home run off the foul pole. His first homer of the year, and they boost their lead. It's 7-1.
That's a swing that'll boost the win probability for sure. Off the bat, it looked like it had plenty of distance, but there was just no telling if it was going to stay fair. I mean, he really hooked that thing down the right field line, but good thing that big pole was there to let us know. Could have very easily just been a long strike if he hit it out front any more than he did.
Murakami in the box now. No balls and a strike. Hammered down the right side, but foul. Nobody out with a pair of runs across in the frame here in the top half of inning number 7. Backed off the plate that time. Check swing, trying to hold up. Now an appeal to third, and that's ruled a swing. It's a strikeout. Austin Hayes steps to the plate for the White Sox.
Ball, that's off the plate.
And that one fouled off.
Ball 2.
Two now. Flares it into the outfield. And that'll get down for a base hit. And that's a 1-out single.
Up next to Chicago, the center fielder.
Here's the center fielder, Brooks Baldwin.
Ball, that's out.
Popped up. Lopez should have this one. 2 down.
Up next in Chicago, the third baseman, Lenny Sosa.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Calvin Fauché out of the game. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound.
Now pitching for the
New pitcher for the Marlins, Max Meyer. He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again. Lenny Sosa steps to the plate for the White Sox. 0 for 3 in this one. And that taps in for a strike. Fought off foul. Hayes off of first with 2 away. This to third, Norby. Over to first, third out. But the White Sox with a 2-run homer. It's 7-1. We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Tyler Gilbert. He's making his 4th appearance of the season. Connor Norby getting ready to hit. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Right through there for a strike.
Well, don't expect too many more high fastballs. This is a good sinker ball pitcher, and sometimes they can make mistakes trying to pitch up in the zone. Look for him to stay down around the knees to be effective.
Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Now 1 away.
Oh, tough night at the dish. Punching out for the 3rd time right there. He just hasn't looked very comfortable at the plate. A little unsure of his timing right now. Not picking up the spin and location of these pitches. He'll have some adjustments to make.
Hicks in the box as he fouls off the first pitch. And
That's
that
a ball.
misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Challenge from behind the dish here. Didn't miss by too much, but it'll stay a ball. So that removes their last challenge. The Fish with a lot of ground to make up here at the bottom of the 7th. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt. Gets the out. 2 down after the strikeout.
Very strong coming out of the pen so far as he punches out the first 2 batters he's faced in this one, getting straight to work. Man, it's talked about a lot, but relievers are just so electric these days. These aren't fun at bats if you're a hitter. And I'm so glad I'm retired.
2 outs, base is empty. Otto Lopez, the next up for the Marlins.
Hey!
On the ground, right side, into the outfield, base hit. And they have their first hit since the 3rd inning.
Up next for the Marlins.
Now here's the Marlins DH, Christopher Morel.
Morel.
Here's your 1. On the ground,
Foul ball.
right side, and foul ball. Struck him out looking. 1 left for Miami. They're down 7-1. Back here in Miami, this offense has lifted them to a lead with plenty of hits so far in this one as we look at the spray chart.
Yeah, when a team has this many knocks, a lot of the time it gets clustered to one side or another. Not today. They're hitting it all over the field.
Let's go, Miami!
In the air, out towards right center. And there's 1 down.
Up next for Chicago, the left fielder, number 23, Andrew.
Now it's Andrew Benintendi to hit. 1 for 3. The White Sox up big in this one, and we're in the top of the 8th. Grounds 1 to short. Lopez handles, throws
He's
to
out.
first. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th.
The batter, number 10, second baseman, Chase Mydra.
Back to the top of the order. Now it's the second baseman, Chase Mydra.
Ball.
And that one sliced foul. Meyer, 27 years old, a former first-round pick in 2020. This to center
入口中一
field.
台急球回转后对向
Marcy makes a nice grab at a full sprint. Nothing doing for the offense that time. Last half of the 8th coming up. White Sox 7 and the Marlins 1. You're watching White Sox baseball on the show, Chicago. Back here at Lone Depot Park. On to the bottom of the 8th. Griffin Conine digs in now. Here's a swing and a line drive and a base hit into right field. So now back to the top of the order.
The batter, number 9.
And up next for Miami, Xavier Edwards. Foul ball there.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much.
The 0-1. Lined, and that's a base hit. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Up next for the Marlins,
Kyle Stowers, the next up for the Marlins. On the ground to third, and that's a fair ball. Conine around third. He'll score easily. It's an RBI single. It's 7-2. And now Jacob Marcy. Chopper to second. My drop. Flips it. There's one. On to first.
No, he's in there.
Safe. So they get one, but a really nice try there.
The Marlins, the right fielder, number 13, Heriberto.
Now it's the right fielder, Heriberto Hernandez. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
This guy's sink has so much drop in it. It's almost like a split finger fastball. Instead of just weak contact and balls on the ground, he gets swings and misses.
That's a ball.
That's
Tried
out.
the sweeper.
It's a big opportunity right here, but I love the way he's slowing the game down. He's shrinking his zone, making sure he gets the pitch that he wants to hit.
Lefty out of the stretch. Runners at first and third. Foul ball. Inside, almost got him. Payoff pitch. Up the middle. Montgomery. 1 at second. Double play.
No, he's out.
What a twin killing to end the inning. But they pick up 1 run on the RBI single. It's now a 7-2 ball game. This is White Sox baseball on the show, Chicago.
Now pitching.
We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Anthony Bender.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleed and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
Now it's the White Sox catcher, Kyle Teal. He's got a single, a double, and a triple in this game. A home run gets him the cycle. He's a bullpen arm that keeps the ball in the ballpark, but obviously out of the bullpen, you're looking to limit home runs.
Yeah, and that's why he's such a high leverage arm. Just doesn't matter for him. He looks at attacking the zone and attacking hitters regardless of the situation.
The 0-2. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. Line drive. Nice grab on the run. 1 up, 1 down.
That was just a great jump and route to the ball. Well, it had to be. If he was going to cover all that ground and bring in that sinking liner, that's the way it had to be done. Nice job.
Colson Montgomery steps to the plate for the White Sox.
Coming off an absolute bomb in his last at bat.
Fair ball. Takes the turn. He's digging for second. Here's the throw. In there safely. So now the injury forcing a substitution at second base. Here's the White Sox pinch runner, Luis Angel Acuna. Munetaka Murakami steps to the plate for the White Sox. He's got some power, no doubt. Man at second.
Yep, that ball went out.
Activity in the bullpen. Andrew Nardi, the left-handed reliever, appears to be getting loose. Hammered down the right side, but foul. Foul tip. Oh, that got our umpire. And it looks like it got him upstairs.
Ball 2.
Good job to fight that one off. Stays alive. Swing and a miss. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. You can't be mad at yourself after an at-bat like that one. So up now for Chicago, Austin Hayes.
Yeah.
That one catches the zone. No balls, 2 strikes.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
That one 95 to finish him off. The White Sox lead 1, but they're still on top 7-2. Back now as they hand the ball to a fresh arm to start the bottom of the 9th, Jordan Hicks.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Here's the third baseman, Connor Norby.
The third baseman, Connor Norby.
Hey.
The 0-1.
Nope, outside. Ball 2.
On the ground to third. 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
Up next for the Marlins, the catcher, number 34, Liam.
And now the catcher comes up to him, Liam Hicks. Fought off foul. And that is in for a strike. And it's 0-2. Hicks wants another look at the called strike. It's a challenge. And after review, it was a ball. Good eye. They'll keep their remaining challenge. Here's a 1-1. And that drops in for a strike. Popped up to the left, into foul ground. And there's 2 down.
The batter, number 6. Shortstop, Otto.
Marlins down to their final out. Otto Lopez will hit next. And that's through there for a strike. It's 0-1. Up the middle, and it finds its way through for a hit. Joey gets on base and keeps it going.
Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just shot it through the infield.
Now here is Christopher Morel. 0 for 3. A fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Misses the sweeper. And the 0-1.
Running that good fastball up on the hitter's inside. If nothing else, it keeps him from diving out over the plate to get those arms extended on the pitch away.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Lopez, the runner at first with 2 gone. That's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going. 1 strike away. Cut on and miss, struck him out, and that's the ball game.
Well, Boog, 4 games wasn't too long of a losing streak, but they're definitely happy to be back in the win column. Now you can turn things around, get on the right track, and probably start a winning streak from here.
7-2 your final here today. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.